This video was prompted by a trip I took this morning down to one of our beautiful Sydney landmarks, Cataract Dam, which is at 100% full again, despite our idiot climate counsellor, Tim Flannery, boldly claiming the following in 2008.
Even the rain that falls isn't actually going to fill our dams and our river system.
Yeah, right. Most of New South Wales dams are at record levels, including Cataract, 30 centimetres above full and discharging healthily through the spillway. But what was so fascinating was on the trip back after filling up with petrol, watching my range indication slowly creeping up to the point where it was over 900 kilometres of range on a single tank, having already travelled over 100 kilometres. In other words, 1,000 kilometres of range. This is because at highway speeds, regular gas cars are actually pretty efficient and will do long journeys in their stride. This is, however, not the case for EVs, which, while they are efficient at low speeds, become much less efficient at higher speeds, reducing range even further. Yet another reason why EVs are a terrible idea for long journeys. Welcome back to MGUY, British engineer and lawyer, now Sydney-based YouTuber. Be sure to follow me on the usual socials for more content, links in the description, and there's a code on screen. Scan that with your phone if you want to sign up for an occasional MGUY email. It'd be great to have you on board. Here's a shot of my instrument cluster on the way back, over 900 kilometres of range remaining, despite having already covered 100 kilometres since filling up. Usually in the city, the range on a full tank is shown at around 500 kilometres. Still not bad, but literally half the freeway range. Yet for an EV, you will find that your range drops markedly whenever you're on the freeway. How does city versus highway driving impact the range of electric vehicles? With lower speeds, frequent traffic lights and street signs that require you to stop constantly, it would make sense that driving in the city is far more draining to the battery life of your electric vehicle compared to highways. After all, the latter is typically more predictable with long stretches of road and even surfaces. But, surprisingly, the range of an EV is actually less on the highway than in the city, with studies finding that electric vehicles use more energy when driving on the highway due to the increased speed, which in turn generates greater wind resistance and drag. Much of this is a result of regenerative braking, which frequently occurs when driving in the city, but rarely happens when on the highway. The process of regenerative braking is when an EV regains the kinetic energy lost during braking and adds it to the vehicle's main battery as electricity, which can then be transferred into range, letting you drive further. In other words, energy is being recycled over and over again in the battery pack. Regen braking allows the battery pack to receive a substantial amount of charge each time your EV slows down, which is why those who rarely slow down on a highway can't benefit from the process. This is such a fudge, you know. Much of the so-called efficiency of the EV arises from the use of regen braking, which you'll do a lot of in the city, but much less on the freeway. So without that regen braking to artificially improve the efficiency, your range will be down. It also means that even tiny changes to aerodynamics or towing, or even the use of the air conditioner, can have a dramatic effect on range. And the article provides helpful suggestions for how to increase your range, including recommending you take the city option rather than the freeway option to improve range. Wow, that would be fun! 1. Reduce air conditioning. Whether the temperatures are high or low outside, using air conditioning in the cabin can significantly shorten your battery range, sometimes as much as 20%. By reducing your use of air conditioning, you'll preserve the range of your battery. You can also precondition the vehicle to suit your needs, heating or cooling the cabin while the EV is still plugged in and charging, and then turning the air conditioning off when driving. 2. Choose the city route. If you're driving to a set destination and there are multiple routes to take the city option. As mentioned above, the city allows for regen braking where highways do not, so you'll be able to recycle energy back into your battery pack. 3. Avoid heavy acceleration. Heavy or aggressive acceleration and driving at high speeds are some of the easiest ways to see the range of your EV decrease sharply. This is because it drains your battery, whereas gentle driving will use less energy as you maintain or increase your speed over a longer distance. 4. Use Eco Mode. With most electric vehicles coming fitted with multiple driving modes, Eco Mode will allow you to reduce energy consumption, especially on longer trips. Though it limits top speed and reduces acceleration rates, it will increase your range. 5. Select tyres wisely. By choosing tyres better suited for rolling resistance, you can preserve your EV's range. Consider the terrain you'll be driving on and plan ahead so you can optimise your tyres for reduced abrasion. In other words, go slowly and brake more. And don't use the AC either. Brilliant. This is another little understood or appreciated drawback of the electric powertrain, to go with the long litany of others. Higher speeds mean higher power consumption, which means less range, which, in a country like Australia, which is vast, EVs as a replacement for internal combustion engine cars is an idiotic idea.